Morning guys, this is Andy, the expedition hiker, and today you can see behind me we are at a power station, and in particular we are just outside of Ratcliffe on Soar Power Station. So we are also at EMA Parkway, which is the East Midlands Airport Parkway train station. Bit of a long-winded one. So the train station built in 2009, but behind me the Ratcliffe Power Station was built in 1968. By 1981 it was taking 65% of the coal that was being produced from Nottinghamshire. So it worked out to be 5.1 million tonnes. The big thing about them is there's actually 8 of them, the first one in the 60s to have 8. Anyway, we're going to move away from East Midlands Parkway. We're going to head down along the River Soar and down towards Kegworth, and then onwards towards Sutton Bonington. We'll walk through the university campus of Sutton Bonington, then heading up to Kingston on Soar, and then we'll eventually head back to where we are now. On that point, I think we should get cracking! EMA Parkway sits between 3 counties, all within 500 metres of the train station, to serve those using the nearby East Midlands Airport, but has since been criticised as poorly located, as the station is in a remote location some 5 kilometres from the airport. It looks like, unless you can catch the bus that doesn't seem to be here very often, you've got a long walk. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Go on a bit of a walk. So hopefully you're all well. As we leave the power station, we're going to head towards the bridge, and then we're going to get onto the River Soar by following the footpath. Now, if you've just joined the channel recently, then thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, then please do, especially if you like hiking, backpacking, long distance walking, like to learn some tips and skills on the great outdoors, as well as download some routes for yourself. So please subscribe. It's going to be a bit of a wet one today. It's forecasted to be raining all day, although we've just got a little bit of drizzle at the moment. It's a bit cold as well, so it's a bit of an icy rain. I planned to do a walk in the Peak District today, but due to a bit of a twinge on my knee, I decided not to walk up so many hills. So this one's a bit of a flat one, as flat as a pancake nearly, because it's only 69 metres of climbing throughout the whole day. So with that saying, we're going to head on, and next point of call is the River Soar, and let's hope it's not flooding when we get there. Fortunately, we're leaving the busy road now. We're just coming alongside Ratcliffe Cutting, which is a canal for narrowboats and motor cruisers. This is a way of cutting around the corner, because around the corner in a moment we're going to pass a weir, so won't be very good for your narrowboat to bump down a weir. So we're going to walk down this muddy track here, and then we'll go underneath the bridge, moving away from the traffic, and then we'll walk alongside the River Soar. So by the look of it, it's going to be a slippy day in the mud. Let's hope we don't fall over today. So if you're heading down this river at any point in your little boat, then as the arrows say, head for the left. Unless you want to try bunny hopping over a weir and crashing your boat into it, then I suggest to take the easier route on the left. Well, it's definitely Christmas time. Even the footpaths are being decorated with bonbons and tinsel. These little people are getting about. Here's another one, and this one's got Santa, please visit here. So let's see if he does. Well, let's not, because I'm not coming back down here to check on Christmas Day, because I'll be on my wild cam. I'll talk about more about that later. So we're heading towards Kegworth now. As you might be able to see the church spire just in the centre of the picture. We're still continuing along the River Soar. Now in the background, even though we've moved away from the road, you may be able to hear the noise of traffic. Or maybe not. But if you can, then that is a racetrack. It is Castle Donington, which is actually the other side of the East Midlands Airport. So it's about 5 or 6 kilometres away from here. So the noise travels. Obviously the wind's blowing this direction. Now Castle Donington, I believe, has never been used as a Formula 1 racing track. I know it's been used for motorbike racing, and also drive your saloon around there or whatever car you have for a reasonable price. So I know they have track days where you can take your car and race it around and throttle past the speed limit. It's also known as a festival venue. It used to have a famous festival called Monsters of Rock many years ago. It's still used as a music festival, large music festival. Obviously not this year due to COVID, but I'm sure they'll be trying to plan something for next year. Anyway, we're going to continue along the muddy fields. Fortunately I haven't slipped yet. I'm still hoping that's going to be the case by the end of the day, because I'm on the train today and I don't want to get to the train station and so you can't go on that train when you're covered in mud. So fingers crossed, ain't going to get that muddy. The River Soar is the main river of Leicestershire and a major tributary to the nearby River Trent. The river passes through Leicester, joins the Grand Union Canal as it meanders through the Soar Valley to where it crosses the border into Nottinghamshire and meets the UK's third biggest river, the River Trent. So as I trample through all this muddy fields trying to work out the best route, I can see some walkers in front of us. And they're elegantly walking across the muddy field as well, so I can see it's not going to get any better. Well, I've just been informed for those people that were elegantly walking across this muddy patch that this is the muddiest patch. So what better thing to do than to film me trying to walk through it, which means with a YouTube video it means I've got to walk through it and then walk back and then collect the camera and then walk back through it again, so 3 times. So hopefully none of those 3 times I'm going to fall. Could be fun for the valley. Could be in the bloopers. Now it's going to be a bit more difficult because I've got a stick in one hand, camera in the other. I'm trying to watch that the camera's in the right place and I'm not falling in the wrong place. It's got to be the slowest train I've ever seen. Unless it seems to be doing some service works or something. But he won't be too happy if we went to London on that train and get there tomorrow. As we see the narrowboats, we are in Kegworth Marina. The house in front of us is on stilts, so as I mentioned before, we are in a floodplain, so I'm guessing this house wants to stay afloat. And then we've got a bit of a dry dock here, and then I'm guessing this is a fuel location, so you can fill up your boats with fuel or anything else, maybe some beer. I'm not sure if I had a holiday home that I would want it right next to a canal and river as part of a floodplain. So this is the bridge into Kegworth, as the sign says. So we're just on the outskirts of Kegworth. Kegworth is known for a air disaster that happened in January 1989. A British Midland Flight 92 Boeing 737 was coming into land at East Midlands Airport. On its descent to the runway, it passed over the village of Kegworth rather than lower than usual, but came up short and crashed into the M1 motorway embankment, approximately 400 metres short from the airport runway. The plane was on a scheduled flight from London Heathrow to Belfast, where a fan blade broke on one of the engines, so the plane had to divert to East Midlands Airport for an emergency landing. 126 people were on board, where 47 lost their lives and 74 sustained serious injuries. The pilot closed down the working engine by mistake. By selecting full thrust on the broken engine, caused a rush of fuel and the plane to set alight. Any place not to fall in the mud would probably be here, because a slip and a swim, and I'm not intending to be in the drink today. Well, you missed it. As soon as I turned the camera off, I went. Fortunately, I was down and up, put my hand down and I pushed myself back up.
Traveling through wasted time. Think of how I will rewrite every single song.
Across the river, here once stood a medieval settlement. Investigations have found burial mounds and even relics from Anglo-Saxon times. Kegworth was listed as Kegworth in the Domesday Book of 1086, and it is known to have been held by Harold Godwinson prior to his coronation until his death at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Sutton and Bonington were originally two settlements that date back to the Anglo-Saxon times. The name derives from two farms, the South Farm and the Bonneton Farm. By 1086, they were recorded in the Domesday Book as Sutton and Bonneton. Eventually, they grew together alongside the floodplain to become one long narrow village that stretches over 1.25 miles in length. Well, the wall on my left hand side is definitely bowing. The village today is home to part of Nottingham University as the Sutton Bonington campus. Originally used as the Midland Agricultural College, during World War II it was also used as a prisoner of war camp. On the university site are the veterinary medicine and agricultural buildings, plus environmental sciences are housed here, with a large bioenergy centre. We're just crossing the Melton Lane, which also is following the Midshires Way. Midshires Way is 225 miles in length, or 352 kilometres. It starts by the Chiltern Hills in Buckinghamshire and finishes in the north of England, in Stockport, between the Peak District National Park and Manchester. So this is Kingston Brook, and then just to our left, buildings over in the yonder used to be the old dairy farmhouse, which now hosts an official automated monitoring weather station for the Met Office. Kingston Hall is an English country home estate. It was built between 1842 and 1846 to the designs by the architect Edward Blore for Edward Strutt, who was the first Baron of Belper. Edward Blore had previously worked on Buckingham Palace in London. In 1916 it became the birthplace of Lavina Mary Strutt, who went on to become the Duchess of Norfolk. The hall was sold by the 4th Earl of Belper in 1976. Afterwards, the property was renovated into apartments, and which one is up for sale at the moment at a cool £475,000. So if anyone buys it on viewing this video, I want my 10% commission. Thank you very much. Bit of a rickety bridge, although it's barbed wire now, stopping anybody going over it, because odds are I think it would collapse if you did go over it. St Winifred's Church that dates back to 1540, although parts of the church grounds have been dated to the 11th century. As we walk through the village of Kingston on Soar, it has 19 Grade 2 listed properties and 1 Grade 1 listed building. I just noticed this sign here. As it says, flood level. Now that must be about 7 feet high. That's crikey if the floods get that high. So the village that I've just passed through, Kingston on Soar, most of it would be underwater. I can understand how this is a floodplain. This is a brook. Now I've seen rivers that are narrower than this. So usually brooks are a trickle of water. Where this is, well, it's not very deep, but it is quite wide. We haven't had much rain at the moment. Come the mid of winter, when the water is rising, and lots of rain and snow and ice, then I can understand how this area could be underwater. Well, it's certainly been a wet one. It's been quite miserable, as in the weather, but it's still great to be out. I've enjoyed it. I have got a bit wet, got a bit muddy. Cleaned my boots off though, going through a lot of watery puddles recently. So we'll just walk into Ratcliffe on Soar next. Ratcliffe on Soar is one of 3 nearby settlements whose names preserve the Brittonic word for ramparts. Within this area, it has been discovered of a Roman villa being within the village, with other structures as well as Roman coins and Roman pottery. Also, Neolithic flints have been found nearby. The village stands on a large floodplain, which frequently floods due to the nearby River Soar. The village was used as a film location to the 2010 movie Skeletons. 2 exorcists literally remove the skeletons from the cupboards from people's homes, where along the way they find some embarrassing secrets being revealed. So our final part of looking at the River Soar as we head towards the power station. And then we've got this little barn on that right hand side, or farm. Looks like it needs a bit of tender care. It was in ruins actually. Knees are starting to ache a little bit at the moment. But that's a good old thing of getting old. You get all these joint pains, arthritis. Lovely. So according to the map, if you can just see there's a track here, and if you look the opposite side of this, a little bit of water. On the opposite side there's a little bit of an entrance. Now this is an actual track, or believed to be on the map as if maybe a ford. Now usually a ford is probably a couple inches deep. That looks quite a bit deeper than a couple inches deep. So I'm not sure what vehicles go through there. It is called the River Soar, and it is soaring. And as you can see, the water is moving quite fast. I wouldn't suggest try walking through there or even driving through there unless I've got an amphibious vehicle or a submarine. So we're just about finished this walk for today, so hopefully you've enjoyed it. And like I said before, all my new subscribers, thanks for joining. Glad you've joined the party. So next week is Christmas, and I'm going to do a bit of a wild camp. So I'm going up to Bleaklow, one of the most hostile places in the Peak District, and I'm going to go and do a bit of a Christmas wild camp. So yeah, Billy No Mates going out wild camping by himself again, and on Christmas as well. So I'll have my Christmas hat. I might even have some fairy lights in the tent. So hopefully you can join me on that wild camp. So until then, stay safe, look after yourselves, and bye-bye hikers.